can't find nothing on the radio.
You ready, Steve?
Welcome to Songology. He's Bruce,
He's Richard.
and this is another episode from our Song of the Day archives.
Enjoy.
Welcome back, Bruce. We're doing music with the dogs. What's happening today?
You know, what's happening today is that I've just noticed that not only are these all dog songs, but I think all of them, most of them anyway, are dog songs from the 1970s.
Oh,
I hadn't noticed that before. There
Yeah.
you go. Here's a classic piece of 70s hippie travel song for you. Me and You and a Dog Named Boo.
okay. Yep.
That ring a bell?
Oh, yeah.
1971 for Lobo. Now, do you remember Lobo?
Yes.
Probably not. You do?
Yes.
What do you remember about Lobo?
Not a thing. I know the name.
You remember that? Well, the name came up last fall when we were talking about Jim Stafford,
Yes.
because there's a connection between them. Lobo is a lad from Tallahassee, Florida. He's a Florida boy. He says that growing up they had a pretty average sort of household, but what got him started in music was a chance thing with a friend of his. Guy down the street got a new guitar. And, come see my new guitar. He goes over, he sees the new guitar, it's really, really cool, and he goes out the back door to go home, and he noticed that, he was throwing away his old guitar, which was a dobro. Now, do you know what a dobro is?
No, I do not.
They're steel resonator guitars. So if you see a guitar with a kind of a steel face where the strings are, chances are it's a dobro. They're harder to play than your average guitar. But that's what got young Lobo, or as he was known then, Kent Lavoie, that's his real name. And that's what got him going on music. Because he said to the guy, can I have this? And his friend says, yeah, sure, if you want it. It's kind of hard to play, and it gave him some tips about how to play it, and that's what he learned on. Then eventually he got himself a regular electric guitar and formed himself a band. Oddly enough, in that band was Jim Stafford, his good friend,
Mm-hmm.
and also Graham Parsons. Now, does that name ring a bell?
It does, but I don't know why.
Okay, Graham Parsons was one of the really, really influential figures who more or less invented country rock.
Ah.
The sound that became the Eagles and Poco and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It comes out of, in many ways, stuff that the Byrds did. Graham Parsons was in the latter incarnation of the Byrds, and then he and Chris Hillman left the Byrds and started a band called the Flying Burrito Brothers.
That's a wonderful name.
Oh, yeah, good name. Now, the thing about, to go back to Kent, or Lobo, the thing that really got him going was when he was asked by some teachers at his school to come and play for a function that they were putting on. So this wasn't a school function, this was a teacher's function. And because they were going to get paid, they agreed to do it. But they were all terrified because none of them could sing. Or none of them thought they could sing.
Yeah.
And so they played a first set, just instrumental after instrumental.
Yeah.
And then, eventually somebody gets sort of pushed forward to sing. They had done the Ray Charles song, What I Say, that Tell Me What I Say, that one.
Yep.
And so he steps up to the microphone and says, "Hey, Mama, don't treat me wrong. Come and love your daddy all night long." And he says as soon as he opens his mouth, the teachers are amazed and astonished, and they're really into it. And he said the power of that moment, the fact that, here I am, a high school kid, and now I am almost equal to these teachers, was really, really cool.
It would be.
And so that's what really got him excited about music. And then as they got better, the fact that they could get paid to do it was a big incentive.
Uh-huh.
And meeting girls didn't hurt either.
Uh-huh.
Right? Strangely enough, Kent Lavoie reports that Jim Stafford was really, really quiet in the band, never sang, hardly opened his mouth at all. And so later, when Kent went to see Jim's performing solo,
Yeah.
and sees him play, but then sees him telling all these jokes in between the songs, he was just amazed. Because I've known this guy for years. I had no idea he was so funny.
Uh-huh.
'Cause he never opened his mouth.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing, too, was Graham Parsons, he thought, was kind of afraid of him because Graham was about 3 years younger.
Yeah.
And Kent was pretty no nonsense, he said. So Graham was kind of the kid sitting back in the corner afraid of me. Okay, this is my band, and you come and play or you don't come at all kind of thing.
Yeah.
At the time, this is in the sort of mid to late 60s, there was a song that was very, very popular called Palisades Park.
Yeah.
And it had an organ part to it. Graham worked out the organ part from Palisades Park on Kent Lavoie's dad's home electric organ. And so, this is cool. We'll be able to play Palisades Park at our gigs. No one does that. Nobody hauls around an electric organ in their part of the world. And so this is going to be really cool. So they make arrangements. Graham's too young to drive. So they make arrangements. Graham has a buddy who has a Volkswagen van. They load up Kent's dad's organ into the Volkswagen van, and off they go to the gig. So Kent, Jim, and the other members of this band, they arrive at the appointed time. No Graham. They do all the setup. No Graham. He's still not there. So the gig is ready to start. It's the appointed time. And so Kent's getting more and more angry, more and more upset. Where is this kid and where is my dad's organ? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so they start playing. And they play for about half, 3/4 of an hour. And then suddenly he sees Graham Parson come into the hall, and he's limping, and he's holding his one arm kind of funny. But he's not Kent, that is. He's not thinking about that. He says it doesn't really register him that Graham is coming across the floor limping and not looking quite right. And he said, as he tells the story, he says he thinks that they stopped right in the middle of the song. And he said, "Where the heck have you been?" Now, he didn't say heck, right?
Yeah.
To which Graham says, "We hit a cow." So the band takes a break, charge out into the parking lot. And sure enough, the front of this Volkswagen van is wrecked. And it's quite clear that from the bits of dead cow that are left over, they've hit a cow. And so Kent, being all business in those days, says, "Fine, unload the organ. We're going to run Palisades Park. Then you can go to the hospital." So they do, and then off Graham toddles to the hospital, where it turns out he had not broken his arm as they had feared. But he did break his foot.
But they got through the song first.
So anyway, this song, Me and You and a Dog Named Boo, was early on in his career. He adopted the stage name Lobo, which he kind of liked because it sort of gave him a persona. So when he was on stage, he was Lobo, and then when he was just in normal life, he went back to being Kent.
Yes.
Right, so that kind of worked out for him. But at the time, now this is back in the early 70s, Helen Reddy had a big song called You and Me Against the World. Don't know if you remember that one.
I don't.
Yeah, it was a hit for her. And so Kent was working on various songs, including a song about traveling across country and so forth. And he was trying to rhyme you and me with different things from the You and Me Against the World sort of inspiration. And then one day he turned it around and said me and you. And now that seems to work better. And just at that moment, his dog, who's a German Shepherd dog whose name was Boo, came running around the corner, looked right at him. So then it became Me and You and a Dog Named Boo. Well, that's kind of freaky, he says.
Yeah.
But hey, why not? And so away he went, finished the song, and it became number 5 hit for him, 13 weeks in the Hot 100.
Huh.
Kind of say a little bit of an old-fashioned hippie tune. So let us join Me and You and a Dog Named Boo.
And as usual, I have to stop her right there due to the wonderful world of fair use rules. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. You can visit us on Facebook or head over to our website, songology.ca. Now, here's your chance to listen to the music or go on to the next episode.